for me, there's something about imperfections in music that make it like beautiful. So when I was in my sophomore year of high school is when Ruff Ryders Anthem came out, Money Cash Hoes, what's it called?
Those are New York.
That's a crazy senior year of high school, bro.
No, sophomore. This is sophomore. This is like my second year of high school.
Whoa.
These are the songs that are dropping, like big fucking songs.
Massive.
Like, Swizz Beats was like, he had the Korg Triton and, and he had the mini sampler and the MPC. So like all these things, just, he was not a seasoned producer. And I think because of that, and the quality was very dirty and rough and muddy, and you can hear the imperfections is what really made those songs. I mean, you can see the stories online of what's it called, Ruff Ryders Anthem. DMX didn't even want to do that song. He heard the beat, didn't want to do it. He lost a bet, and they lost the bet. And if he lost the bet, he had to do the song. And he went and did the song, and it became like international, Ruff Ryders Anthem.
Yeah.
Like that is, that
That's
you don't even
crazy.
need to know anything else. That is like perfection, But if you listen to it back now, it's a lot of imperfections in there, just because it's just what it was. It was more feeling than anything else. So like for me, I love that feeling. I love like even Armand van Helden. That's the perfect example too. All his sample stuff, those dirty, grimy, rough fucking samples with the house drums.
That's
like,
facts.
dude, if that shit was clean, I wouldn't listen to it. Yeah. Would not listen to it. Duck sauce. Like if those records were like polished and crispy, I would never listen to them. For me, that's the way I feel.
And it's funny that you say that because you do that in your own productions.
Yeah, because I'm lazy. I can admit it on camera. I'm fucking lazy when it comes to that. Because like when I work on stuff, I get so many different ideas at once that like I prioritize what I'm gonna cut corners on. It's like, okay, I don't fully know how to use a compressor the right way, so I'm just gonna not use it at all. Limiter, EQ, hide it with some effects, and boom, it sounds good enough. Just because I love this groove, I love how it sounds, and I want to move on to the next thing. That's me being lazy. But it also comes from my hip hop background of sampling. Yeah. Like we talked about the remix I did for Tito Puente.
Yeah.
That was sampling. They gave me all the stems. I was telling him. They gave me all the fucking stems. Crazy. Trumpet 1, trumpet 2, congas, fuck everything.
That's nuts.
So I had free reign to do whatever I wanted to do, and it was cool. I felt like a kid again, 15 years old, chopping up in Fruity Loops 2. 2, when it was still made for techno, was not even thought of for hip hop. Like nobody in hip hop was doing it. Like that's another thing. I'm telling people when I'm 15, 16, that I'm using Fruity Loops because it wasn't even changed to FL Studio. Kellogg's didn't get involved yet and sue them. So it was still Fruity Loops. People were like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're making beats on a computer? Like what? Like what does that mean? And then you see the big fucking fruit that comes with it.
Yeah.
You know what that comes with. You can get made fun of. Listen, in 1997, all the things that are inappropriate to say now, they were saying them casually back then when I told them I use Fruity Loops. So, use your imagination. I'm not going to say, use your imagination, the words. So again, but hip hop, the imperfections for me, like long story short, imperfections for me were like the thing that really made me feel music.
I feel like that was like your superpower, and your trajectory of all the music you've ever made.
Yeah.
Is the fact that like you could tell not all your songs were polished, but it didn't matter because they had so much more like you in the track, right? It was like uniquely your sound.
Yeah.
And your superpower is being able to like close the laptop and be like done and move to the next one. And that's why your catalog is so deep.
I wish my brain worked that.
Yeah, whereas
I'll be
like
stuck on like a fucking snare.
Yeah. So
That
like
don't sound right.
I will admit, like I feel like that vision of like perfection, getting it sound great, held us back so much because we would sit on tracks for months, for years, and like to the point that like we still have like dozens of songs that are great, but we never released because we were like, oh, we can't get it to sound the way we want it to sound.
I feel that.
So like that.
I feel that.
Like I feel like now more I'm embracing a little more the imperfection in my music as at last. I'm like, I don't need things to be perfect. I just need it to be uniquely me. I need to have my sound, my vibe, and everything. And like, you know, I'm not making people's ears bleed. It doesn't sound like completely off. Like, it's good enough. I think good enough is perfect, and perfect is overboard. And like you said, you're here. If you hear a song that's too perfect, you almost just like,
like when a song sounds like just stock sounds after a while, it's just like there's no energy, there's no feelings, no emotion, flavor, none of that. And I hate it. It. So it's a lot of pop stuff, a lot of those number one Beatport songs. Like,
I mean, this is definitely a lesson that I learned over the years. I mean, what do you feel about it? What are your thoughts about like the whole striving towards polished song?
For up and coming artists, if you're watching, don't. Just do what you feel on it, get it to where you think it sounds good, and move on. It's not worth hanging up on the song.
Because also it comes with experience too. Like, nobody comes out of the gate and your first fucking song is perfect. Like, you know, or whatever the standard of perfect is, you know, at the time.
And I think for every artist,
super sus.
Every song is a work in progress. The more you make, the better you get. But no song will ever be.
So many fucking files that like, I was like, don't like the snare, starting a new song.